This is Brad with Midwest Bank, proudly serving our Nebraska communities for over 70 years. We're a community bank, making local decisions, supporting local organizations, and helping local businesses and farms succeed. We are dedicated to serving our clients and helping them meet their financial needs with sound, innovative banking solutions. From an array of checking and deposit accounts, cash management services, to small business, real estate, and ag lending. We're here for you, your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Find out more at midwestbank.com. Member FDIC.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hey, moms and dads, bring the whole crew to a Salt Dogs baseball game and unleash the fun. Visit Haymarket Park all summer for fireworks Fridays, souvenir Saturdays, Sunday family fun days, and more. With 50 home games, even weekdays can be unforgettable. Planning an event? Make it a home run with group discounts. When you need an outing the whole family will enjoy, unleash the fun with the Salt Dogs. Call 402-474-2255 or visit saltdogs.com for tickets.
Nebraska State Veterans Homes are here to serve veterans, their spouses, surviving spouses, and Gold Star parents. Join your fellow veterans and their families at one of our homes in Bellevue, Kearney, Norfolk, or Scotts Bluff. With a sliding scale to determine your financial contribution, an excellent clinical team, and plenty of fun activities, our homes are the perfect retirement choice. Learn more at veterans.nebraska.gov/homes. Sponsored by the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves them, that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score!
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up? This is Jay Foreman, Austin Orman on the ones and twos, DP, Derek Pearson, over there to my right. This is Old School, brought to you by the Mercado, Certified Piedmontese, Special Ingredients and Butcher Shop, located at 84th and Havelock. I like to say every type of meat, every type of cut. If you didn't know, yesterday I started a little trouble. So I'll say I quote the great John Lewis, get into some good trouble or start some good trouble. I don't think I started it. I think I just couldn't get an answer, so I had to pull some teeth out of there. I had to extract some answers from DP. But a lot going on in the sports world. We're one day closer to the first game of the NBA Finals. We are 3 hours and 43 minutes away from whoever is still technically in the NBA draft to decide what they're going to do. Obviously, that affects Tominaga, who's played well at Nebraska last year. I think he has three options. If he's able to stay in the draft, I think he probably has some opportunities over there where he's from, and then obviously come back here and continue progressing, and probably still have the same options as next year. So it'll be interesting to see what he decides to do. I think he's not announced until tomorrow. Nebraska, I think just from looking on the few things I saw on Twitter, the kids are back on campus working hard and getting after it and trying to get ready for the season. Austin, they got some unique times for Nebraska. Nebraska is going to Champaign, Illinois, and playing at 8 p.m. Is Illinois on Central Time? Champaign?
They're still Central, yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, that's a different game for you, right? Where you generally, I think, night games start about, DP, 7:15, 7:30?
Yeah.
Yes, it's only 30 more minutes, but you're on the road. And, you got a young team or a team that doesn't have a lot of continuity going on the road, against a team that might, especially with a defense that's going to be jacked up and trying to be flying around. So, it'll be interesting to see how Nebraska handles that. And, got a little bit of Colorado news that we alluded to. They want to get back and rekindle that relationship with the Big 12, which I think is a natural fit. So if I'm the Big 12, I'm doing it, right? If there's ever a time that, in my opinion, DP, that Colorado, as bad as they've been, I don't even remember the last time they had a good team. Because even when they beat Nebraska in Scott Frost's first year, they looked good against Nebraska. They sputtered down the stretch, and they've had some NFL talent. Right.
They won the Pac-12 South at 10-2 in 2018, I want to say.
Yeah, they did. And then that was Frost's first year, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and then the next year they're supposed to be really good, and they really just dookie down their leg. So I stand corrected. But if there's ever a time in recent history, obviously with Colorado being appealing, this is it. If I'm the Big 12 right now, I think I have more bargaining power against Colorado than I do in 2025. Reason is just let's just assume they start to accumulate more wins. Well, with more wins, Colorado might be more appealing to not only to stay in the Pac-12, but then somebody else to try to snag them. Now is the best time to negotiate or get them in back in the Big 12, because the Big 12 needs them. Colorado needs the Big 12 for recruiting, and you got Dion, and then you haven't seen their product, right? For both sides. Yes, I look really good right now because I can still reference Jackson State. And if you want a kind of, home type of example, is Scott Frost's first year, even though Nebraska started 0-6, what did we always reference? DP in Austin was UCF going 12-0, Deion Sanders can reference Jackson State, turn them around, pretty much turn that whole conference around. There's no disrespect for anybody, the homegrown coaches and the HBCUs down there. But Deion brought eyes, ears, and financial support to that whole conference and universities. So that's what Colorado and Deion can sell right now, because I could do the same thing to the Big 12 and give you more credibility until I get my program up and running. Because you better get me right now while I'm at Colorado before I mess around and win 7 games and Florida State comes calling me because they might be scared of Mike Norvell.
It's amazing to me how much we try to separate Nebraska and Colorado for things that are going on and how business is being done. But they're both uniquely tied and similar, because just as Florida State lurks in the shadows of Colorado, right? Because Colorado's rooting for success, ultimate success, because good for business. Whether they decide to go, whether they decide to stay, but the fact that Florida State lurks, that if there's success, Florida State's coming. They're coming for their guy. Nebraska's in the same boat. That if Matt Rule has the success that everybody's hoping for, aren't we really going to be having that very same discussion about Penn State lurking?
Not necessarily, because if James Franklin is established there, so
he's not going to stay.
Well, right now you only can take it that he's going to stay, right? He's had plenty of chances,
right?
And so for him to not really pursue USC and other ones, he's going to stay for the foreseeable future. There is continuity there to what you're saying, but the difference is Florida State, where Florida State's program is and went, even though they had a pretty good year last year, compared to where Penn State is and what James Franklin has been built up and where he's at as a coach. Meaning, Florida State head coach goes 6-6, 7-5.
He's fired.
He's fired.
Yeah, he's fired.
James Franklin goes at, okay, we got to, there'll be
one more year.
One more year or 2 more years. Let's let his quarterback develop. You lost a lot, X, Y, and Z.
What is your take on, because as you break it down, right? You all the things that are happening at Colorado, all the things that are happening in college football. This is not a Colorado thing. Just what makes Colorado the discussion is they're on the schedule and it's Dion. Like those are the two things. Otherwise,
and he is now. Granted, it's probably, I will say this is the roster turnover probably is extreme, right? Which is, I can see why, and I can see why you wouldn't, right? And there's no example of it, because any other example, say like when Urban took over Ohio State, I know for a fact he told Perry, "You're not my player." Right. Tried to run him off,
right?
But you couldn't then,
right?
He couldn't go get, a linebacker from Florida to come in. He couldn't do it, right?
Is there any other Dion out there that would make Colorado relevant to the rest of the country? Is there anybody that was a new coach?
No, they've had, the funny thing about, they've hired former players that have had NFL success, that have had college success, and they just have never had the support. Deion has forced them to support pretty much by him coming with his staff, with his social media. The difference what Deion's doing, again, to the extreme of showing up and telling players, like, if you guys ain't good enough, you guys are gone.
Wouldn't you want that as a player?
Hold on. The only thing that's different is Deion's telling you it's in your face.
Yeah.
Because he has a whole camera crew versus doing it behind the scenes or creating a scenario where you're sitting down and say, I have no choice but to leave.
Yeah.
It's been going on for decades. I'm sorry for the people out there.
That,
it's however you want it. I mean, yes, like I said, is it a little bit much? Sure. But ultimately, when you hire Deion, okay, because he even did the same thing at Jackson State, but nobody cared about Jackson State. Nobody really cares about Colorado. They just care that Deion's doing it and they don't like it.
Yeah, that part.
So at the end of the day, when whoever called up Deion and offered him the job, the first conversations had to be, or in the first couple conversations had to be, are you going to let me come in and do my thing? Right? Meaning, I'm going to evaluate the roster, which was created by poor practice habits, bad recruiting, bad development, which is a byproduct of the lack of support from the athletic department, so forth, and alumni, so forth, and so on. So it was a relationship that was built up. You want to hire me? Cool. I can do my thing. What are you going to do so I can do my job?
To support it.
Meaning you're going to have to find ways to go raise money. You're going to have to support me in social media stuff.
Yep.
You're going to have to be lock and step, even though I'm making you uncomfortable, how you sell out a spring game, so forth and so on.
Yep.
So it's a different type of deal right there. Whereas like if you come to a Penn State or to a Nebraska, you got people that's showing up here that's been showing up here we got the longest sellout streak ever.
And we'll keep showing up.
Right. And we haven't won anything.
Yeah.
So I remember, matter of fact, we're going to go to break so we stay on time. I'm going to talk about when I talked to one of my former teammates who's the athletic director in the Big Ten, and he talked about Nebraska versus where he's at. And he's made some huge hires, home run hires every single time he's done it. And I knew he was going to be good at whatever he did because he was the smartest guy on the team and he was a tight end. And usually I think tight ends are dummies. But anyways, Jay Foreman, DP, Austin, we'll be right back.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive Certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
All Hits Radio Request Line. What would you like to hear?
Trucks and Bucks.
Sorry, I don't know that one.
You know, the one about the 8 trucks.
Nope.
Sure, it's the biggest hit in Nebraska.
How does it go?
Trucks and Bucks from the Nebraska Lottery. You could win one of 8 new trucks.
Are you talking about the Nebraska Lottery's Trucks and Bucks scratch game?
Yes.
You mean you want us to play the commercial?
Please.
You got it.
Trucks and Bucks from the Nebraska Lottery is back, and you could win one of 8 new trucks. Top prize odds 1 in 336,000.
Hello, Talking Deer here. I want to take this time to thank the Nebraska Lottery. Since 1993, Nebraska Lottery proceeds, over $900 million, have gone to its beneficiaries, including the environment. And since I'm out here in the field every day, I see it firsthand, or first hoof, I guess.
Who are you talking to, dear?
Oh, I was just thanking the Nebraska Lottery and all the people who play for supporting the Nebraska environment.
That's nice, dear.
The Nebraska Lottery, 30 years of building a better Nebraska.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric brings exciting career opportunities for you or someone you know. They are now hiring plumbers, electricians, and HVAC techs and installers to continually build their professional team. They offer competitive pay and full benefits packages that include health, dental, vision, PTO, and 401k options. Action has created a positive team environment for over 50 years. Apply online at actionlincoln.com.
Hey, moms and dads, bring the whole crew to a Salt Dogs baseball game and unleash the fun. Visit Haymarket Park all summer for Fireworks Fridays, Souvenir Saturdays, Sunday Family Fun Days, and more. With 50 home games, even weekdays can be unforgettable. Planning an event? Make it a home run with group discounts. When you need an outing the whole family will enjoy, unleash the fun with the Salt Dogs. Call 402-474-2255 or visit saltdogs.com for tickets.
Spring is here, and Acres has special financing on all John Deere lawn tractors and zero-turn mowers. Get your yard looking great and use John Deere's wide selection of attachments to landscape your property to perfection. And for a limited time, with a purchase of a new John Deere mower, get up to $200 to apply to the steel power tool of your choice. From trimmers to chainsaws, gas or electric, Acres is your home for steel products and service. Acres, solutions for every field.
Nebraska's favorite vape shop.
Generation V.
Providing friendly, personalized service and the largest selection of vaporizers and e-liquid flavors in the state.
Generation V.
Generation V will beat or match any local competitor's price. With a huge selection, great service, and the lowest prices, Generation V is your one-stop shop for all your vaping needs.
Generation V.
With 4 Lincoln locations. Visit us on the web at generationv.com. E-cigs contain nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
Babe, pack your bags. We're going to Vegas.
Vegas?
We just got the estimate from the wedding caterer, and we're going to have to elope.
Actually, Members Owned Credit Union is offering no-fee home equity lines of credit. We can borrow what we need with equity from the house.
Wait, so we can keep the bacon wrap dates for the cocktail hour?
We can keep the bacon wrap dates. From wedding bells to trekking the globe and everything in between. Capture your dreams your way with a no-fee Members Owned Credit Union home equity line of credit. Learn more at membersownedheloc.org. Limitations may apply. Equal housing lender.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
It's May, and that means the school year is almost over and summer road trips are on the horizon. Stop telling yourself you'll upgrade your car someday and do it now. Mullen Motors lot is full of great vehicles to take home, so you don't have to worry about your current car barely surviving another road trip. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Layton and find your next ride. Summer road trips are just around the corner. Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
On the block with Strick and Austin.
Neither you or I think he's retiring. The NBA, I don't think, is ready for LeBron to retire. Who's the face of the league?
They're not prepared for it. Like it would be shock in New York because now you're trying to recreate this again, but there's really, they're trying to do it. Like that's why they were hoping Celtics, Lakers. Like they're trying to figure out, find a way to revamp it.
Weekdays from 2 to 4 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Jay, 5'7".
You're right. Boys need to start lining themselves, man. We are back. Old school. Jay Foreman, DP, Austin. Appreciate it, Austin, having us on the ones and twos. Looking good, sounding good, and all that good stuff. We mentioned Nebraska and the support they have. One of my friends, former teammates, is the athletic director at Illinois. And, yeah, I used to call it Illinois. I was corrected to say Illinois. And he just talked. I saw him at, last year at Big Ten. And he talked about, like, man, the support you guys have and have had is extraordinary. And he's like, the way that they got to do things, they got to make sure that they, every time that they step on the field or in the basketball team or, any sport, they have to make sure it's on a point. It's on, the good product is out there, and he's able to really push Illinois to, hire Bielema, hire Lovey before that, hire the basketball coach, and really take a huge step to not only when he's asking for support, he's showing them this is what you can get from support, which has allowed them to prosper basketball wise. Obviously, we've seen up close and personal, and football wise in a very short matter of time. And takes a lot of patience, perseverance, and courage to go about it like that. And, especially when you don't have, the rinse and repeat, support that you have here at Nebraska. So, look, at the end of the day, man, the season's going to be here before you know it. And then it's going to be over before you know it. So, I mean, really it falls on the players and the coaches just, finding a way to get, that much better every day. And then once they get into camp, they got to maximize every day. It's not going to be easy. I think the schedule sets up finally for Nebraska to have some success. Just on paper, it looks that way. Where the games are, what time of year, do you play, certain teams at certain times of the year, back to back and all that stuff. I think Nebraska gets a little bit of a break. And so, when you have an opportunity, when you have an opportunity that presents himself, which is every season. But when you have a really golden opportunity this year where you're playing a lot of teams that are in the same situation that you are, that weren't usually when you played them, they were, button up organizations. Even you look at Purdue, right? You knew who the head coach was, you knew the quarterback was going to be able to throw the ball, and you knew that they were going to have at least one or two receivers, and then have a couple guys on defense here or there. And then when you look at Wisconsin, you knew exactly what they were going to do. 3 yards of cloud of dust, throw it to the tight end, hella fight on defense. Over the years, have hurt Nebraska on special teams, right? Thorn in your side. And then you look at Northwestern. You knew that every other year Northwestern was going to be anywhere from 8 to 10 win team. That didn't hold true. They're in extreme transition, right? They haven't been able to really, hit the jackpot on transfers at the quarterback position because the players that they have developed have also moved on to other universities. And then obviously they had some guys get drafted. Definitely had 2 first-round offensive linemen, which is hardly, ever thought of at Northwestern. Guy drafted early on the defensive line, running back drafted this year, so forth and so on. So that those things, losing those type of draft eligible and draftable players aren't replenished at a school like Northwestern. So when you look at the Big Ten West, the only team that seems like they're somewhat buttoned up, we just finally beat, which is Iowa. They even had to go outside of their normal practices and get a quarterback out of the portal that was hurt all last year and didn't start at Michigan, figuring that they'll be better across the offense line, which I think Nebraska beat up pretty good. Lost a lot on defense, but got another tight end. Figure it's going to be the same on Iowa. So when you're looking at where Nebraska can start, hold their head above water in the middle of the season, and then finish strong, this is extremely gettable schedule.
I would hope that when we look at the schedule, Nebraska fans look at Nebraska first. Like,
there's no guaranteed W.
Like I don't particularly care who's on the schedule. Truth be told, one, it's not like the Big Ten that it's going to be in 2 years where you're going to add USC and UCLA. It's going to be one conference. You're going to have to get your meat and potatoes every year, no matter what. So for Matt Rule and this roster, he's got to work on correcting mistakes, big mistakes. Like being able to tackle, to be able to get snaps in play, to get plays in at the right time, to stay healthy, things that you can't control health, but you can't control injuries, but you can control health. So if Nebraska shows up August 31st and they're fit and they've worked hard and they've worked on their tackling, they're actually improving their tackling. They're improving hand placement on the offensive line. They got some depth on the defensive front. The schedule ain't going to matter. But if they do what's been done for the previous 5 years, common sense says Doesn't matter who they play. Like,
Yeah,
like PJ Fleck,
the biggest opponent has been themselves.
Yeah, like this is really like whatever their mantra should be. It has to be about self. It has to be about self. Don't care that it's PJ Fleck. Look, PJ Fleck had advantage over previous staffs, right? I'm not sure. Like aside from the running game, I'm not sure he had more talent across the board than Nebraska. He had elite runners. His quarterback play was a step behind Nebraska's. Offensive line, 2 of the 5 were questionable. But he simply had a plan, and they didn't beat themselves. They simply waited for Nebraska to cough. And the last 4 years, Nebraska coughed.
Right.
Right? They gave him a chance. Colorado without Deion would be of disinterest to me. I would be disinterested. I would be indifferent about Colorado. But I'm curious about Colorado now. The first two home games, it only scares me that you have to go to Minneapolis and Boulder first. If you flip the schedule and said we're going to play these 2 home games and get a chance to get our grown man legs and figure out, okay, how do we line up, what the rotation is going to be, how do we handle that, I'd feel better about Minnesota and Colorado. But the fact that Minnesota and Colorado first, if it was Colorado first, I'd feel okay. But it's Minnesota. PJ Fleck knows what he's bringing in. Yeah. Like he knows.
I mean, they ain't changing.
Right. Like he's going to be what he's going to be because he's going to copy success because he's had nothing but success. So then it's Nebraska. Who's going to quarterback? Who's going to be your starting tailback? Who's going to be?
Well, we know who's quarterback.
Right. So
we had this discussion yesterday.
Jeff Sims. Okay. So Jeff Sims is the starting quarterback. Running back 1A. Do we know? Or are we sure? Receiver 1A.
Anthony Grant is going to be starting.
Anthony Grant. Okay. So Grant,
Marcus Washington. And a host of others.
Are you willing to concede, or do you believe that Marcus Washington will lead this team in passes caught this season? Because I think it's Billy Kemp. But
yeah, I mean, I think that's based on the scheme. I think Billy Kemp will get, be a volume type of receiver, but that doesn't necessarily mean that Marcus Washington won't be your guy.
How much do you trust that Thomas Fidone will be the leading receiver amongst tight ends? We don't have that trust.
We ain't seen that.
We don't have that trust.
But I know Nate Borkacher could get busy.
Right. Well, if Borkacher's
does not know if Borkacher can play.
But is he all Big Ten level?
No, man. I mean, that's first of all, Iowa got 2 of the best tight ends, not only in the league, like top 15 in the nation. You talking about going from being? I mean, you need a consistent football player. That's what they need right now from Nebraska.
Just don't suck. Is that?
Yeah, and really, to be honest with you,
right? That's fair.
However you look at the schedule,
yeah,
you look at the schedule. Yes, playing on the road at Minnesota, all things considered, is not ideal. Would you like to play at home? Sure. Yeah. But do you really want to play at home with a team that doesn't know each other? You got a ton of distractions when you have a home game.
Mm-hmm.
Short week, but it can also be distraction a week prior because you hear, okay, my parents are coming to town, brother, everybody like that. So in my opinion, if I'm trying to batten down the hatches and get the most focus, right, is let's go on the road. Now, ideally, you'd like to go on the road and play a team that isn't as buttoned up as Minnesota. But Minnesota's also transitioning in a new quarterback, regardless of what he did as a backup player. He hasn't started before. A new running back. They lost the best center in the draft, or one of the best offensive linemen in the draft. They lost another offensive lineman. Now they do get their number 1 receiver back that was hurt last year. They're bringing in a new running back, and their tight end is pretty good. But these are all the same players that Nebraska played against last year. And the players that are still on the roster have been successful against them. Now, when you think about offensively versus Minnesota's defense is probably in the best shape they've been in as far as guys coming back. But Yeah, well, kind of.
Yeah.
But the thing is, they lost one of their starting defensive tackles to the portal, and another one I think is in the portal as well. So regardless if you have depth there, you're losing guys that were productive players on your defense and two of them at a crucial position. So when we're looking across the team, yeah, they have more experience with us. Coaching staff has been together. They got their offense, I think, a coordinator back. So there's more continuity there. But it's not going on the road again at Ohio State. Let's not again, like 2 or 3 years ago, going on the road to Illinois. Let's not make Illinois something that they're not. Are they a competitive team? Is Minnesota a competitive team? Yes, you know what you're getting. And then when you're playing against the Colorado team, the best time to play Colorado is week 2.
Yep.
Not week 1.
Yeah.
Week 2. Or in your second game.
You got some tape.
You got tape.
You got
there is no
2
surprise.
extra days to prepare.
Exactly. You can see their weaknesses. You can see, okay, what actually can they do? What are they trying to do? You can see how they played against another team. And also, they haven't caught their rhythm because Colorado's a team that I don't think that their record is going to be up to what obviously anybody up in Boulder would like, but they will be a problem later in the season because you'll start to get some repetition and start to get some rhythm. So we're catching them at the right time. We're catching Minnesota if there is a right time. You want to catch Minnesota early. You got to think Minnesota, even though they've played in these games early, they've almost lost every single one of these games.
And
Georgia Southern, Fresno State,
Yeah.
South Dakota State, the linebacker in the cover 3. I still talk. It just I couldn't believe it.
Yep.
You forgot to drop in the flat, and that was the game. That's how you lost the game.
Yep.
So going up there, you're not playing a juggernaut like Penn State in the whiteout. They're hard to beat. Iowa late in the season getting Ohio State or Penn State coming in there, they're hard to beat. Then you come home and it's no slouch. Northern Illinois is going to be tough as nails. Louisiana Tech is going to spread you out and have the speed. But these are 2 winnable games. So, yeah, there's 4 games that you definitely getting off the bus thinking, expecting that you could win. But you also have the reality, if we don't handle our business, then we'll be in trouble. But ultimately, like DP said, Matt Rule's biggest job is coach these guys continually, day in and day out, even in the offseason, on how to get out of their own way. Now, I will tell you this, though. What I do think is, and this is probably why, it was where you got to pay him this much.
Yeah.
Matt Rule's not going to get up there and say, after we've lost numerous games, we got to keep doing, we got to do what we've been doing. We just got to do it better. He's not, he ain't going to do that. He ain't going to let DP as the defensive coordinator or the offensive coordinator still try to run 32 gut and it ain't working on third and 8. What you keep running the draw for? 3rd and 1, keep throwing 2 delay flat or something. You know what I mean? So that's where I think is the difference.
And before, I mean, into yours and to the text line saying Minnesota notoriously bad starters. Last year they were 4-0 before things got a little shaky. Like
they were the best team. They were the best team.
Yeah.
In the Big Ten West, head and shoulders until injuries. And then they also went
38-0 New Mexico State at home, 62.
After that Michigan
put up a
State
62
game,
burger against Willow.
Then they got a little bit full of themselves because they had to bye a week at the wrong time. They're the hottest team.
Yep.
Got hurt or injuries.
Yep.
They were a team to be reckoned with.
They beat Colorado 49-7, beat Michigan State 34-7, and then
at Michigan State.
Yep, and then it got rickety after some injuries and some things. So they start like.
But I was just talking.
They
about
are who they are.
But I was talking about the first game. They have some problems.
Yeah, they've got some questions. It's gonna be, like I said, this whole thing
because they're not sitting up there thinking like, okay, we know exactly what Nebraska.
They have no idea.
Now, just think about this before we go to break. And text line, text us in. Minnesota has to think, okay, we don't know what Nebraska's going to do defensively, and we still have to get our quarterback ready to play at all Big Ten level
against a 3-3-5.
Well, you know it's a 3-3-5. You don't know what type of 3-3-5.
Right.
But you also got to, the main thing, you got to focus on him getting ready. So you're stretched at both ends. So, hey, look, text lines are open. You can call in. Yeah, we don't get a lot of call-ins. You know what, DP? We need to start letting people call in, man.
That's a thing we're working on.
We're going to have to start it, but we got to be, you can't be calling in after you've been sauced up. We have to hit that red button.
Yeah, we're 4 to 6. So we got it different than the 6 to 8 folks.
Yeah, that's true. All right, Jay Foreman, DP, we're heading to a short break. We'll be right back.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and Jay on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Copple Chevrolet GMC, and we are celebrating a record sales month in April, and we're going to let it roll and crank up in the month of May. We have some big discounts and special interest rates going on this month on selected new in-stock Sierras and Silverados. Buy a new Silverado or Sierra, get $3,000 off or 1.9% interest. You heard right, $3,000 off or 1.9% interest. We have outstanding specials on all of our new and pre-owned GM certified units. So stop on in and see us or check us out online at copplecars.com. You'll be glad you did. New discount, must trade in and finance with the Roof Credit.
There's never been a better time to earn more on your checking account. Open a free Kasasa Cash checking account with Liberty First Credit Union and earn up to 5.5% APY for up to $40,000. It's simple. Open your Kasasa Cash checking account online or stop into any of the 4 Lincoln locations or Seward and Omaha branches. Liberty First makes switching easy, and Kasasa checking is always free. See libertyfirstcu.com for details. Federally insured by NCUA. Liberty First Credit Union. Banking with purpose.
It's May, and that means the school year is almost over and summer road trips are on the horizon. Stop telling yourself you'll upgrade your car someday and do it now. Mullen Motors lot is full of great vehicles to take home, so you don't have to worry about your current car barely surviving another road trip. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Layton and find your next ride. Summer road trips are just around the corner. Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Your home should not be a zoo to unwelcomed animals. Let the experts at Bats to Rats take care of those problems. Dane has been a leader in wildlife and pest management and prevention in Lincoln and the surrounding area for 15 years. He can help you get rid of bats, rodents, and anything else. Whether it's residential or commercial buildings, schools, apartments, or churches, they're always a phone call away. Call today at 402-310-0904 or visit batstoRats.com. Bats to Rats Wildlife Control and Prevention.
Bagels & Joe is the perfect place for breakfast or lunch in May. Try their pesto cream cheese on any breakfast sandwich. And try the Karma Latte, as 10% of proceeds from that drink will go to the Teammates Mentoring Program. 4 locations in Lincoln and 1 in Seward. Bagels & Joe.
From the first pitch of a late-night Little League game to the sweet taste of frozen treats, LES powers all of life's special moments for only $2.88 a day. Learn more at les.com/value.
Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Smoked meats, amazing sides. The only problem when they fix you a plate is that at some point, that plate will be empty. But hear me out. What if that plate was never empty? That dream can be your reality with the Mary Ellen's Express Lunch Buffet. From 11 to 2 every Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and even Saturday. One price, all you can eat, and it even comes with a drink. Tell your boss you're taking a long lunch and get down there. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul at 29th and Pine Lake. Let them fix you a plate.
Problem gambling affects more than the gambler. It affects spouses, children, extended family members, and friends. If you are a loved one who's struggling with addiction, contact Choices Treatment Center's helpline at 402-476-2300. That's 476-2300.
Too many people believe that chronic pain, allergies, or illness are permanent and something you're stuck with. Novotny Nutrition and Wellness has been proving that narrative wrong for 29 years and changing lives for the better in the process. Their team is trained in the newest, most advanced pain-relieving techniques and ways to deal with toxins, allergies, pollution, and emotion that make you ill. Call today for a free consultation at 531-254-5695 or go to novotnynutritionandwellness.com. Novotny Nutrition and Wellness, located at 7th and Superior.
This is Brian at Midwest Bank, and we've been proudly serving clients in the Lincoln community since 2008, and we're excited to open a second location in January 2024 at 70th and Pioneers Boulevard. Our new branch will provide all the convenient services you're looking for in a bank, along with the friendly staff we're known for. Whether you're starting a business or expanding your business, our team is here for you, your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Find out more at midwestbank.com, member FDIC.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
We'll see a slight chance of thunderstorms this afternoon. It will be another very warm day as we'll top out at 89. South winds at 10 to 15. A slight chance of thunderstorms tonight with a low down to 65. We will continue with a slight chance of thunderstorms tomorrow and stay warm with a high of 88. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back. Short segment here before the top of the hour. Got some YouTube texters in here. It says coaches won't stay more than 6 years anywhere. So if Penn State wanted him after that, well, yes. You know what? To be honest with you, he kicks butt for 6 years and something like that happens. But, right now I'm going on his word that he's here to stay and he's in it to win it. And then another texter says, really, we only need to win the first game to get on a roll. Not worried about CU at all. I hear you on that.
Yeah.
We beat Minnesota. I think that changes the dynamics of not only the whole season and how the perception is.
Yeah.
Minnesota's not an easy place to play.
How big is that stadium? 45?
It's not that big. It's about 55, 65 at the most.
Okay.
But it's right next to kind of dinky town. It's easy to get to because they have the tram that gets in there and all that stuff. There's a lot of bars and it's a night game, so their fans are going to listen.
50,800.
50,000. Okay.
Nebraska fans are the number one Busch Light drinkers in the world.
Yeah.
You know who's second? Minnesota.
So
they having fish fries out. Look, but they're great fans. It'll be a good game. I have some friends that are Minnesota alums, and so
are you going in Wednesday, Thursday?
When is the game? Game's
Thursday night. Thursday night.
I don't know.
Thursday night.
I didn't even know we're going. I didn't even know we're going to Strick said it.
No, man. Look. Here's the thing. You and I were going anyway. Sipple's going.
I wonder if there's a preseason Viking game up in there. No, it's July, or no, it's August. Yeah, it should be right around prime time.
Yeah, and the Twins are there.
The Twinkies.
The Twins are there too.
The Vikes' last preseason game is against the Cardinals on the 26th.
Oh, Pocket Hercules. I wonder if he's going to be healthy. Nope.
Probably
it don't even matter what he's doing. He just lost the Hopkins. He ain't doing nothing.
Probably not, Jay. Well, Jay, that man, you hurt his feelings. Like, I just see him.
He ain't worried about me. I got to get online to find him. You know who can find him is Amon Green, because Amon Green plays all the video games. He can find Pocket Hercules.
That is so funny.
He keep messing with me online. I'll send Amon after him.
That is so funny.
Call of Duty.
So the Twins play at home against Cleveland. They got the Guardians. The 28th, 29th, 30th. So
likely divisional stakes.
Yep.
Oh, Krusty Dusty says this. It'll be real interesting to see what the second half of the Minnesota game looks like. Then we'll know if we have some decent coaches or not. Minnesota's going to adjust. Can we counter?
That would be one to ask you, Jay, because
I think
first game. That's when the real awakening happens, right? Like, that's when the players start looking at each other like, oh, you was practice All-America. Where you at?
Yeah, well, I mean, if you got some guys that do a lot of wolfing, I think the coaching staff would be able to adjust. I will say this. There are some guys that are very, very young, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
You can't hide that. That doesn't mean that he's not going to be a quality coach or isn't a quality coach. Okay? And then you have some guys that don't have, I guess, experience in the Big Ten, some of the assistant coaches. That goes without saying, but they have experience other places, right? But the thing is that people kind of gloss over. If you look at the four main figureheads, let's call them the four horsemen of a coaching staff, they have experience out the wazoo. So you have the head coach in Matt Rule, right? Obviously experience, right? Been head coach three times. Temple, Baylor, Carolina, or 4 here. And then the offensive coordinator, Marcus Satterfield, has been different places. He's been a head coach before.
Yeah.
So he has experience. Then you have the defensive coordinator and Tony White, who's played in this defense personally and been groomed exclusively in this defense. So, and he has experience.
And as Cole says in the text, he says Minnesota played against Tony White's defense in the bowl game when he was in Syracuse.
Then you got Ed Foley, who's been coaching with Matt Rule, I think, every single place.
Right.
So you have experience in the four main. So what I mean is the ability to adjust shouldn't be a problem, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, how you work continuity through that and who, the suggestions and who's looking for what, that's how they handle internally. And as far as like Syracuse playing Minnesota, it gives Tony White some confidence. It probably gives PJ Fleck and them some confidence, but the personnel is different, and it's a bowl game. So on both ends,
people sat out.
It only means so much.
Right.
I will say this, and this is not taking anything away from any team, but Central Florida getting up for one game against an Auburn team that had guys opt out that really wasn't supposedly motivated. I don't see how you're not motivated, because I saw Alabama be extremely motivated against Kansas State. They were motivated. Matter of fact, they were pissed off.
Mm-hmm.
But it's different than getting ready for the first game and being ready to go.
Yeah.
Meaning this is the first time. And that's on both sides.
Yeah.
And so you can take it because, okay, this player's coming back. We can game plan for him. Okay, we have some sort of practice tape against number 8, the quarterback, and stuff like that. So you can get some confidence that way. But at the end of the day, you know what it's going to come down to? It's going to come down to fundamentals and going out there and playing. And it's really Nebraska plays against themselves, which is ideally the easiest game.
Don't beat us. Don't beat us.
It's the hardest game out there.
Yep.
So
don't beat us.
Anyway, that's a good way to end that first hour. And we're going to get at the top of the hour. We're going to talk a little pre-NBA finals. We're going to talk about the other comings and goings in the sports of
tampering.
We're going to talk. I wouldn't call it that, man. That's just business as usual. We're going to talk a little bit about Husker baseball. Heard about that earlier today. You got some guys making some decisions and stuff like that. So at the top of the hour, we're going to be covering Husker news and professional sports. Jay Foreman, DP, Austin. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. The home of Kansas City Royals baseball. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
It's May, and that means the school year is almost over and summer road trips are on the horizon. Stop telling yourself you'll upgrade your car someday and do it now. Mullen Motors lot is full of great vehicles to take home, so you don't have to worry about your current car barely surviving another road trip. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Layton and find your next ride. Summer road trips are just around the corner. Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
There's never been a better time to earn more on your checking account. Open a free Kasasa Cash checking account with Liberty First Credit Union and earn up to 5.5% APY for up to $40,000. It's simple. Open your Kasasa Cash checking account online or stop into any of the 4 Lincoln locations or Seward and Omaha branches. Liberty First makes switching easy, and Kasasa checking is always free. See libertyfirstcu.com for details. Federally insured by NCUA. Liberty First Credit Union. Banking with purpose.
Okay, old buddy, I took you through the car wash and drove you out to your favorite dirt road to talk about something. Well, I'll tell you. Trucks and Bucks from the Nebraska Lottery's back, and I'm just going to buy some tickets, that's all. No reason to get upset. Of course you mean a lot to me. But this year, the Nebraska Lottery's giving away 8 Atlas Blue 2023 Ford F-150 XLT Super Crew Flex Fuel trucks. I mean, these things are gorgeous. And what happens if I win one? Hey, you'll still be part of the family. I thought maybe I'd give you to my nephew, Josh. He's not a terrible driver. He only left the gas nozzle in his tank and drove off once. Okay, twice.
Ford F-150 is a registered trademark owned and licensed by Ford Motor Company. Top prize odds 1 in 336,000.
Allo is here to give you the FYI. Are your shows buffering? We know why. Are your games lagging? Don't deny. Your work calls dropping? Here's the FYI. Your old school internet company can't keep up. They give it a try. Their network isn't enough. Don't get trapped in their gimmicks and lies. It's time to fiber your internet with Allo. Honest, local, and hassle-free is what we stand by. Experience Allo Internet. Visit allofiber.com/FYI.
Bagels and Joe is the perfect place for breakfast or lunch in May. Try their pesto cream cheese on any breakfast sandwich. And try the Karma Latte, as 10% of proceeds from that drink will go to the Teammates Mentoring Program. 4 locations in Lincoln and 1 in Seward. Bagels and Joe.
May 1st through 31st, enroll your eligible smart thermostat in the LES Peak Rewards program. You'll earn participation incentives while helping to reduce electric usage. Learn more and sign up at les.com/peak rewards.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
America's been around since 1776. That's nothing. America's still just learning how to party. The Irish? The Irish have been doing it for thousands of years. Party the Irish way at McKinney's Irish Pub in the Haymarket. They've got your favorite Irish beers on tap, along with all the locals and domestics. Plus great house cocktails, a huge selection of Irish whiskey, and the best Irish pub food in town. See the full menu and list of specials online at mckinneyspub.com or just head down there. McKinney's Irish Pub at 7th and P in the Haymarket.
Hi, I'm Barb Bettine, President and CEO of the Lincoln YMCA. On behalf of the Y, I want to thank you for voting us Lincoln's Choice for Best Youth Sports Programs, Best Youth Activity Programs, and Best Preschool. These categories represent so much of what we do at the Y, and we're honored to serve thousands of families in our community each and every day. Hey, with summer just around the corner, I invite you to stop in to one of our 4 branches and learn how the Y can be a part of your family. The Y Outdoor Pools open May 27th, and we can't wait to see you.
Early break with Sip and Jake.
McMurphy has Nebraska in the Las Vegas Bowl. That would be incredible. That would be absolutely amazing. Here's when the Vegas Bowl is. It's before Christmas. It is so easy to get to Las Vegas for Nebraska fans. There's now a direct flight from Lincoln via Redway, the new at Lincoln Airport. Omaha has direct flight. Grand Island has direct flights to Vegas.
It would be flooded with Nebraska.
It would be awesome.
Early break with Sip and Jake from 6 to 8 every weekday morning. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves them, that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score!
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up? This is Jay Foreman, DP. Old School, we are back. Brought to you by the Mercado, Certified Piedmontese, Special Ingredients and Butcher Shop, located at 84th and Havelock. We appreciate their support. Appreciate the Butcher Shop because there's plenty of phenomenal choices. So if you're feeling froggy, you need to leap on down there and, get some stuff going and throw it on the grill.
Have you changed your preseason prediction for record yet? Have you?
For who?
For the Huskers football. Have you?
What was it?
Well, you said 8-4.
No, I ain't changing it, man. I ain't changing.
Austin,
you ain't catching me in no moment right here. Well, why would I back down?
I didn't expect you.
You
I
always talk about somebody causing trouble. I ain't backing down. Look, man.
That's the lead. Jay Foreman says 8-4.
Yeah. Well, I mean, okay. Okay, look,
8-4.
worst case scenario, we come out of the first 4 games 3-1. Okay, Michigan, that's realistically, okay, they might bust our head open to the white beat.
3-2.
But since you said Chuba Purdy had an 80 quarterback rating, I think Jeff Sims is going to have 90 and 100, and we might pull the upset, right? So then we're going Friday night, 7 p.m. So it was 8 p.m. Eastern. So we're going at 7 o'clock to Urbana-Champaign, Illinois, to play an Illinois team that lost the Brown brothers.
Yep.
Okay.
Witherspoon.
The best cornerback in the nation, and one of their defensive line guys, and one of their linebackers. And I think they probably had lost the offensive lineman. So I like that.
What did your grandma say when you was about to do something bad?
I like them chances.
You better not, Jay Foreman.
Listen. Right.
You better not lose to Illinois. You better not.
So I like our chances there. Okay. If you want to say
4-2,
if you want to say that we're
4-2,
we're 3-2. We can even be 3-3 after that game.
Okay.
Okay. I'll even just do that just because it's on the road. Okay. 3-3.
Okay.
We're going to bust Northwestern head over to the white meat.
4-3.
4-3. Purdue. We're going to come in here and get your boy Ryan Walters. We're doing that. Then we're going to East Lansing. Okay. And we're playing it. We don't know what time we're playing them. We're going to beat them. So I don't even know what the record is.
6-3.
6-3. We're already going to the bowl game. Okay. The game that is kind of like the setup game.
Gotcha.
Is Maryland coming in here with Tua Tagovailoa's brother. Okay. What's his name?
Talia.
I mean, okay. Talia Tagovailoa coming in here, and whether we want to let him leave upright or not. And as Maryland's defense got bigger and stronger to be Big Ten worthy. Because if they haven't, we're going to be 7-3.
That's a 41-40 game. I don't know who.
Oh, that's this is a defensive optional game.
Oh yeah, this is arena football. We just because Tagovailoa is going to throw for 5 touchdowns, run for 1 or 2.
This is new age.
Yeah,
this is new age fan football.
Yeah.
They think this is a great game when it's like 56-53 and like 5 overtime.
Yeah,
no, it's garbage.
Johnny, we'll have Johnny Holiday breaking it down.
So I think that we can do that. So now we're 7-3. And then I firmly believe that we're gonna split one of those two.
Okay.
So that's how you end up at 8-4.
Okay. I'm all in. Like I'm with Coach Foreman.
I just think the opportunity is there, the schedule is there. I'm not looking at anybody on this right here. To be honest with you, I'm not looking at any game on here, even though Nebraska's in transition. Besides the Michigan game, is like, all right, like Nebraska doesn't. They're not getting off the bus thinking like, oh, we got to play our best game. No, we need to play our best game because we need to get consistent, right? But we got to play a good brand of football.
Austin, what do you think? Where are you?
He's gonna be 6-6. You know, Austin. He's from Duke. You know that.
My prediction was 7-5 the last time we did this. Nick and I were doing this before happy hour today. We went through the schedule, so I'm glad this is coming up. I landed at 8-4 being the best case scenario and 4-8 being the worst case scenario.
And I think it's 50-50 which way it goes.
And if you look at it as a bell curve, you do end up in the middle at 6-6, but this is where I let my heart take over for one game and I'll stick with 7-5.
Yeah, I've been saying the last 4 years that I wouldn't be surprised if this team went 8-4 or 4-8. Same thing applies this year. Same thing applies. So I'm gonna stick with that.
Who do you trust on the team? Who do you trust on the schedule? Again, you don't know anything about so many of these opponents, but you don't know as much about Nebraska, like you guys have been saying.
John and Cortland says, never again. Semi Kool-Aid.
Oh, this isn't Kool-Aid though, because like I said, okay, I'm gonna ask you guys this. Okay, we'll do the grading scale 1 through 7, the new age, right? Because like the reason why I do the new age now, because like when they do multiplication, the way that me and DP were taught to add, subtract, it's like somebody in Germany came up to the same. You could do it a different way.
Yeah.
You ever seen those like Instagrams where they say if you take the year you were born, the year now, and times it by like whatever's in your bank account, it comes back to the year you were born. Well, that's how they do new age math, right? So our grading scale is 1 through 7. 1 being the worst, 7 being the best, right? Or wherever you feel comfortable. Okay. In comparison, from last head coach to this head coach, okay, on a scale of 1 to 7, okay, how comfortable are you that this coach will coach, this coach will lead, this coach will actually be able to reconfigure the ship if you kind of get off path? Is that a clear enough question for you? You know what I'm saying?
Faith in Matt Rule versus previous coaches. Previous coaches, I didn't have faith in. Well, let's be clear. I didn't have faith in Scott Frost. Frost was a 2. Rule's a 4 until he proves.
Okay, so DP's at 4. Where you at, Austin?
Craig is at 3 on the text line.
Okay, cool. We got 4-3.
On the day the hire was made, I would have been a 6.
Okay.
I think now I'm at a solid 4.5, 5.
Dang, how you gonna go down?
I'm in wait and see mode with some of the assistants.
Yeah, I think some of the Matt Rule stuff is his staff.
Matt Rule himself probably a 6. Everything else going on around has brought that down a little.
Okay, well then let me ask you a follow-up question.
Good,
let me ask you a follow-up question.
Yeah.
If you initially had a 6, and let's say DP you were initially at higher than a 4, right? Now you got to your 4.5 and you got to your 4 based on the staff. So, but if your initial grading system is almost perfection, 6 to 7, say 5 to 7 for DP, if he was at a 5 and went down to a 4. But then wouldn't your initial thoughts be like, okay, I know that he will actually coach our staff, develop our staff, X, Y, and Z. So that's why I asked why you would go down.
Because he has to develop the staff rather than having the staff help develop him.
Right.
Because it hasn't been done for me before. I saw what happened to Scott Frost at UCF. I haven't seen that at Nebraska. I've seen what Matt Rule's done at Temple and Baylor. I haven't seen that at Nebraska, where, like, you've said, it's the biggest job of his life. It's the hardest job of his life. The biggest stakes
and
he's dealt with in his career.
Yeah, and I don't think he brought. Okay, if you ask me about Tony White's a 7 for me. The reason, all of the faith that I have in this coaching staff.
Okay, but is your 7 conditional? Because just say your boy Potts or the 85 running backs that Minnesota just essentially puts water on in Chia Pet.
Yeah,
started trickulating up there in Dinkytown.
I'm not surprised by that. So I'm not. That wouldn't change it for me. I would give him a chance to work out because we have a pretty good idea of the level of talent on this defense. Like, real talk, nobody's surprised. Nobody's going to go, this is a top 3 defense in the Big Ten Conference. Nobody's going to say that, talent-wise. Nobody's going to say it. So we know that the magician has to be at work. Like, Tony White's going to have to maneuver some people. He's going to have to outthink some people, outplan some people, out-scheme some people.
Yeah,
some days he's going to win, some days he's not.
Have to line up and play.
Yeah, but who's –
you're going to have to line up and play. So
this
is why I'm asking you right now. This is why I need solid answers, right? I don't need ifs. I just need guarantees. Because here's why. Because if you're comfortable with the head coach, right? I'm comfortable with how you can lead. And that because I'm trying to show the distinct difference, right? Because part of what made Bill Walsh was his ability to, when he was first hired as the 49er coach, to have an extremely inexperienced staff. Then overnight they were like, that's the best staff in the NFL. Why? Because the whole offseason and during the season, right? He is not only coaching his players, he's coaching his coaches. So here's what I'm trying to really get to. Okay. So if you have a coach that's coaching and then he's coaching his players or coaching his coaches and they're therefore coaching his players, then when we talked about the big things or, punching I would say, punch yourself in the face, that has to dissipate to a certain percentage because it's not something that's glossed over or allowed. That is corrected and rectified.
Trust is through experience.
Right.
And being familiar. Right. Being identifiable.
Right. You like the guarantees.
Well,
so you like you like the guarantee of an 80
control the controllable
of an 80 quarterback rating.
I'm a child of Joe Gibbs and John Thompson. Control the controllable
with 2 sacks and 2 interceptions.
Control the controllable. What I'm not going to do, I'm not letting I'm not letting you bang your head against goalposts on a 70-yard pass.
Yeah, but you like Gus Farrat be on his way to a Pro Bowl, headbutt the goalpost with a neck broken.
No, because I'd have told him. I said, well, no, because I'd have asked him. No, that's the Chuba thing from yesterday. When did we practice you banging your head on the goalpost or in the pads? Like, we didn't practice that. Only do the stuff we practice. Like, we didn't practice that, Gus. That's literally the conversation. Like, we didn't show me where we practiced you putting your head on the pad in the end zone.
And then missing the pad. And then
and then concussing yourself. So coaching is usually, it's so much more of that, of just do what we worked on.
Right.
Like, just do what we
But I'm
practiced.
just saying, if you know that what's been described, that an adult is in the room, And that's what you asked
Yep.
last year.
Yep.
Where is the adult in the room? Now there isn't a question that there's an adult in the room. When you compare one to
compared to compared.
One's more an adult to whatchamacallit. So therefore,
but
does that change your ranking?
No, because
no.
If Tony White, let me say, I'll get in trouble for this, but I'll say it anyway. If this was Tony White's team, and I'm imagining this as Tony White's team, because the offense has to compete at Tony White's defensive level. The defense is going to compete. They may not be the most talented defense in the Big Ten, but they're going to compete and they're going to make an attempt to be in the right place. Then sometimes you're just too slow, too small, not strong enough. But at least you're going to be in the right place. That I have trust in, and because of that, that means that Satterfield's offense has to iron versus iron. That they've either got to get tougher, Big Ten tougher, or they will get decimated at practice. Like they're not even going to make it to Saturday because you're
that's
just
in theory, but they ain't got no dogs over there that'll be doing it.
And I'll say,
the curveball to your fastball comment would be, okay, as much as you said, let's just say the offensive staff isn't up to the defensive staff hasn't coached in the Big Ten ever or had success here. So both of them have a lot to prove.
But
that's the great thing about it.
Well, but I look at that through Ohio State's thinking defensively, right? Michigan is very compound, very base, very boundaried in what they do. They try to take away portions of the field at a time. Ohio State says, no, I'm just gonna be in the right place. You can beat me if you're better than me, which Michigan has figured out how to do. But everybody else in the Big Ten struggles because Ohio State simply says, you're going to have to out-execute and outwork me to beat me when I have better talent. Nebraska's just saying, we don't have better talent, but listen.
But we got talent, though.
You have some talent.
Yeah, it's better than none.
Right. You have some
talent. You could have Northwestern talent. You could have Nebraska talent.
Yeah. Yeah, I just 7 years of Tony White defenses gives me some comfort.
Do you think the 3-3-5 can work in the Big Ten?
It's not a matter. I think it can work. Yes, I think it can work. I think it'll work better when Tony has picked his roster, that when he's identified the talent. He's working with somebody else's talent right now.
Yeah, it's probably taking a job.
Right. Which year one doesn't look like year two.
Ideally.
Right. I have faith in the work. When I'm at practice and I listen to Tony White, I feel the development happening. I see the development happening.
Tony White, we are paging you right now.
Yeah, but that's you see that. Satterfield works at a different pace and a different energy. And the decisions made that you're going to go to Jeff Sims, the Jeff Sims decision tells me that you're not going to have full control. I'm not going to bring in Jeff Sims to throw deep balls to all these sprinters that I brought in. Right? Big Ten football to us is put your feet on the ground and outmuscle somebody. You went out and got sprinters and said, that tells me 2 years from now, this is a track team with somebody with a big arm who throws with Harbaugh throwing long, big balls down the field. If you hit 1 out of 6.
Wait, hold on. What are you talking about? You need speed.
You need speed
on the outside.
You need speed. But you also need football players in the Big Ten. Track dudes don't do that well in the Big Ten. They don't do that. Not a receiver because there are too many corners. There are too many corners that beat them up. There are too many Jay Foreman, too many Debos out there.
Difference, though.
Yeah.
Here's where college football has changed. If you right now to get a Power 5 offer is way easier than ever when I played.
True.
You only got to do you got to do two things.
Agreed.
Play 7-on-7 and run a good 100 time or 200 time in track. You'll go from 3-star to 4-star overnight. And that's not just secluded or not just Nebraska. This is everywhere.
Right.
So everybody is a track guy now because everybody is trying to get in the door. I get what you're saying. If they're purely track guys, like if you're just taking a guy that's a track guy is a come try out and play football, you like to have both, right? Because what you can't coach is essentially the ability to run.
Yeah.
Now, what you have to be able to do is coach guys that are fast and have them have the ability to play football. So a perfect example of Jalen Lloyd from Westside. Okay. He is cross-trained to play receiver and defensive back. When you watch his tape, he's fluid in his back pedal.
He's a football player.
He's a football player, just happens to be one of the best in state track. Now you could say, okay, what's the transition going to be for a Malachi Coleman being excellent at track? Not a lot of football experience from, say, 3rd, 4th, 5th grade, right? That's where the coaching is going to have to be. And his body type is different, being pretty much 6'5", 185.
If Malachi tried to, and again, with Big Ten football,
right?
What I see in year 3 for Malachi is different than what I see in year 1.
Oh, for sure.
That year 3, they're not going to send Malachi down on Jay Foreman because his season would be over. Right,
no, but see,
right. That's Big Ten football offensively for Nebraska.
But
your receivers have better bang up on some dudes.
It's matchups though,
right?
See, that's where people I think are missing.
Yeah,
how you can potentially. It's like, okay, I love boxing, right? So if you think about a boxer that's going to try to fight a boxer that likes to be inside and like grapple and hit you with body blows and wear you out, kind of like a James Toney, right? Remember when James Toney went to heavyweight?
Lights out.
Well, when he went to heavyweight, he was grossly overweight, but the way that he was able to go 12 rounds is because the proximity wasn't. It was very close. So
his nose told you everything,
right?
I don't care.
So he's right there, right? So in order to combat that, right, and still fight the James Toney fight, you have to get to the way that you want to fight within the way James Toney wants to fight a different way. How's that an analogy? So if you want to become physical and your offensive line isn't just, say, Iowa level. I wouldn't say Iowa's offensive line wasn't that good last year. So let's just say Minnesota's level, just because they're, physical, right? Yeah. Upper echelon offensive line, say, so 6 or above in the Big Ten. If you can't do that with the present guys right now, where you roll out, we know that's where we're at. You have to get bigger, faster, stronger, physical at 2 parts. Up the middle, where if you look at Nebraska up the middle, on paper, they seem pretty good. Or you can sleep at night.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then where they're able to get bigger and more physical is one by play calling and what they do out on the edges, right? So when you think of 2 gigantic tight ends with Borkature, with bigger receivers, right, or receivers that can lock up and get some movement out there for their smoke screens, jailbreak screens, level routes, and all that, that's how you can still become physical. So if you want something to look at, that's what they were able to do at Baylor. And it was all predicated on speed. Now, what you can do from a matchup standpoint is in year 3 or year 2, after potentially a redshirt year with Malachi Coleman, right? He's able to actually concentrate on football in the weight room. He's able to train his football muscles instead of being more of a straight line, linear track muscles. So he's building up those fibers and all those stabilizers and all that stuff, quick twitches for football, right? In year 3, year 2 of playing, now you're saying, okay, he showed flashes at the end of his redshirt freshman year. He's had an excellent spring. He's more durable. And then his sophomore year, now he's a matchup problem. Yeah. So then you just flip the scales to how this is all potential. Now you flip the scales to where now everybody's up there trying to recruit about what you have versus we're trying to recruit with what they have.
Yeah, and Nebraska's not in that lane.
Oh, we're not yet. No, we're talking year 3. You're not in that lane, but you have to find a way. You got to find a way to win a couple rounds when you're fighting, Buster Douglas or something.
And Texas Jeremy, he asked the question: is DP really saying the speed won't work in the big? No, what I'm saying is Trey Palmer's speed was based on him spending 3 years in a system, learning how to route run, how to be physical in short traffic space, being able to burst and get away and get releases against Big Ten and SEC corners.
And when you saw Trey Young destroy the Riley Moss from Iowa, and then he did it again down at the Senior Bowl, and all the guys, it wasn't just 9 routes.
Yeah,
Trey Young or Trey Palmer learned how to be physical, a physical fast guy, even though his frame is slight.
That part.
That took
that toughness.
Mickey from knowing it from 12 to when he got here, however many years he was at LSU, to finally the light come on. Now he's playing for Tampa. When we come back, though, DP, we're going to talk about Keisei Tamanaga, the NBA, and we're going to talk about big news from Florida Atlantic with their 2 guards. who put on a show and the decisions that need to be made in a little bit less than 6 hours. Jay Foreman, DP, will be right back.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Celebrate the start of June in style with two great drinking events in Lincoln. First, this Friday, come down to Beer House's grand opening as they show off their expansion to double the size of their building. The party starts at 3 p.m. with live polka music starting at 7. And on Saturday, make plans to head on over to Sideshow Spirits and Cider for the first annual Nebraska Whiskey Carnival. Enjoy local Nebraska distilleries and their spirits, food vendors, and more. Event starts at 3 p.m. Buy your tickets ahead of time at sideshowspirits.com.
Looking for a financial partner that truly makes a difference? Modern Woodman is a member-owned fraternal financial services organization. We can help you plan for all stages of life, from protection to saving to retirement. We also offer member benefits, social activities, and volunteer opportunities to help your family and community.
I'm Sean Erickson, your Modern Woodman representative in Lincoln. Call me at 402-483-6515 to start the conversation.
Modern Woodman of America, touching lives, securing futures.
This is Brad with Midwest Bank, proudly serving our Nebraska communities for over 70 years. We're a community bank, making local decisions, supporting local organizations, and helping local businesses and farms succeed. We are dedicated to serving our clients and helping them meet their financial needs with sound, innovative banking solutions. From an array of checking and deposit accounts, cash management services, to small business, real estate, and ag lending. We're here for you. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Find out more at midwestbank.com. Member FDIC.
Motor Food is Lincoln's hardest rocking food truck and cafe. Motor Food creates old school comfort food with a 21st century twist and lots of rock and roll attitude. Try the barbecue pulled pork mac and cheese, the grilled chicken Firebird sandwich, a 100% all beef split grilled hot dog, and any version of their funky fries. Stop by the cafe just behind Outback Steakhouse on 48th Street, or catch the food truck out and about all spring and summer. Check out their menu, order carryout, or schedule a catering at motorfoodtruck.com.
May 1st through 31st, enroll your eligible smart thermostat in the LES Peak Rewards program. You'll earn participation incentives while helping to reduce electric usage. Learn more and sign up at les.com/peak rewards.
Bagels and Joe is the perfect place for breakfast or lunch in May. Try their pesto cream cheese on any breakfast sandwich. And try the Karma Latte, as 10% of proceeds from that drink will go to the Teammates Mentoring Program. 4 locations in Lincoln and 1 in Seward. Bagels and Joe.
Hey, moms and dads, bring the whole crew to a Salt Dogs baseball game and unleash the fun. Visit Haymarket Park all summer for Fireworks Fridays, Souvenir Saturdays, Sunday Family Fun Days, and more. With 50 home games, even weekdays can be unforgettable. Planning an event? Make it a home run with group discounts. When you need an outing the whole family will enjoy, unleash the fun with the Salt Dogs. Call 402-474-2255 or visit saltdogs.com for tickets.
Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Smoked meats, amazing sides. The only problem when they fix you a plate is that at some point, that plate will be empty. But hear me out. What if that plate was never empty? That dream can be your reality with the Mary Ellen's Express Lunch Buffet. From 11 to 2 every Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and even Saturday. One price, all you can eat, and it even comes with a drink. Tell your boss you're taking a long lunch and get down there. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul at 29th and Pine Lake. Let them fix you a plate.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese Beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive Certified Piedmontese Beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
We'll see a slight chance of thunderstorms this afternoon. It will be another very warm day as we'll top out at 89. South winds at 10 to 15. A slight chance of thunderstorms tonight with a low down to 65. We will continue with a slight chance of thunderstorms tomorrow and stay warm with a high of 88. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back to Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back. Old school Jay Foreman, DP. He's ruining a couple people's weeks. I ain't gonna even drop the dime, but he ruined a couple people's weeks. So as much as he said I was a troublemaker yesterday, he ruined people's weeks. But we are back. We have got everybody's in wait and see, especially Nebraska men's basketball fans are wait and see. With Keisei Tamanagi had a workout with the Indiana Pacers. It sounds like it went good. Depending on what he hears, I'm assuming from his agent or the Pacers, which I wouldn't advise any prospect to put all their chips into what one team says to you. What he hears or what he has heard, I'm assuming at this point, to go against whether he comes back to Nebraska or possibly pursues pro options in his home country will not be known until tomorrow. Because he's going to announce it in the morning in his home country, morning time. So was it 6 to 8 hours difference?
14.
Is it?
Oh,
is it?
14.
Yeah, well, it's 14 hours different.
Yeah, well, it's going to be early. We'll know soon.
We'll know as soon as you wake up. So, with that being said, the two guards that really, or two of the players for Florida Atlantic that took them to the Final Four, they've decided to withdraw from the draft in return, which is going to make them a preseason number 5 team. Now, who would ever have thought, right? Florida Atlantic would ever be a preseason top 5 team. So John L. Davis and Elijah Martin are returning from the NBA draft and coming back to Florida Atlantic. So hopefully they can get some upgraded facilities, because the coach was talking about his office was in a essentially a trailer, or like in a trailer. And then they, went from there. And so, you think of Davis and Martin. I'm reading it here. They each had several pre-draft workouts, and they wanted to further showcase themselves for 2024 draft, in which meaning they could have got a late first round or mid first round grade, but understanding coming back and playing well, not only individually but collectively as a tandem, they possibly, considering it the way that they played, which always will be in their draft profile, what they did through this NCAA tournament, could possibly propel them into the lottery, considering the amount of G League players and young freshmen that are going to be in this draft at that position. Another year as that kind of goes through the process might help them. And then when you think about Keisei Tamanaga, the question would be, can you duplicate and add on and continue to improve like you've done from the previous year, to really validate what you did last year on a pretty consistent basis? Or do you strike while the iron's hot, while your name is hot? And I think every situation is different, and turn pro in some form or fashion. Correct me if I'm wrong, DP in Austin. He has an option to stay in the NBA draft or possibly play professional in his home country. Is that correct, or am I wrong in that?
Yeah.
So I mean, those are two options. And then also, I think obviously the biased opinion is him coming back to Nebraska, because I think if he has another year like that, it could be life-changing for him around here.
I just want him here.
Where is he now? Is he in Lincoln?
I think
yes. It was reported
back.
that he worked out the Pacers on Tuesday. He's back and has talked to Coach Hoiberg this afternoon.
Okay, so he's in Lincoln, but he's not announcing his decision till tomorrow morning,
which is not the sign we want.
Well, I think he's doing it because of obligations back home.
Yeah, for NIL, he can. There are deals that can be done, because I know Jazz Shelley went through a similar thing with some jerseys and T-shirts that can be shipped to home and make his money. Pushed. As a matter of fact, he's on Open Doors currently, that you can make deals while he's there, and then they have to take it down. So if you want to support Keisei and NIL, you have 6 hours to do so. I think.
In 22 minutes.
Right. Through all of that. I'm such a fan of his. I'm such a fan of him as a person.
Right. He's a great, I mean, I said it from the first, maybe the third or fourth game. He went somewhere and worked on his game.
Yeah.
Not only because he was, the previous year, I think he was predominantly a left-handed driver and a three-point shooter. That was like his, all right, I don't know what to do, I'm going to shoot a three.
Yeah.
He went and improved his strong hand, which is his left hand. He improved his right hand, which is his offhand. he actually improved on his ability to cut off angles and improve his angle as far as getting his shot off or getting to a shot. He became more creative. For somebody to do all those things in a matter of 6 months showed me a lot more about him than him going off in games and being a crowd favorite.
We should all do everything we do with the enthusiasm and the passion.
Oh, he has a
of
good
Casey
time.
Tomlin. Like to love it. I mean, it's not work to him. He loves it, and every one of his teammates talk about him as easily the most popular player.
He's a big piece into it, and he's not the only piece.
Yeah.
You know, the one thing I think about Casey is I think he's a very, very effective 2 or 3 versus being a 1.
Right.
Right. So, because I think, look, what really helped him excel was Sam Greasel having the ability to be the big guard, the post-up guard, to kind of like, hey, look, when stuff got out of kind of whack, okay, we got a 6'7", 225-pound guard forward that can get somewhat of an easy shot or pass out of a double team and run the break, which allows Casey to run around and get people tired, get it open 3 if we need to, especially if we're on a run or we need to stop a run. Then you had the point forward in Derek Walker with those two. So that, you know, essentially he was a number 3, but became a number 1 scoring option, but it was based on what the other two I just mentioned before. So for him, he has a harder decision than I talked about with the other two from Florida Atlantic, because they know where they're at. They probably had more evaluation than maybe K-State, right? They know exactly where they're at. They know if they stayed in the draft where they'd be drafted.
Yeah,
and they both would be drafted.
Much greater access to scouts and information. They can work in camps, more players
and position flexibility, all that stuff, right?
Players to play around,
and there's comparables, right, in the league.
Yeah.
Whereas Casey, when you have so many, there's not a wrong answer he necessarily could make, right? If he stays in the draft, I'm assuming that he's hearing good news that he would at least be going to Las Vegas Summer League, G League, X, Y, and Z if he's not drafted, or he's hearing that he's drafted. That's phenomenal. If he comes back to Nebraska, he's going to be treated like a king, you know, as long as he continues to play well. If he goes and plays professionally for or in his home country in their league, it's the same.
I think his aspiration is NBA.
Oh, sure.
And I think his game has matured into an NBA style game more than the Japanese Pro League style. He can do more things over there. He can do more things over there. But I think here, the understanding that he would not have to carry a team and that his skill set would be highlighted. Think of how many players in the NBA who don't do what Casey does as well as Casey does. And they found a career.
Right. And you can start where you start isn't necessarily where you're going to finish.
Right.
You know, even if you had to start over there and go other places. I mean, you know, Patrick Beverly, I mean, he played over there before he could even get a sniff or a workout here in the NBA.
I think San Antonio, I think Golden State, like I think there are places where a shooter of his and the offensive skills that he has. One, he's got a better handle than we give him credit for.
Right.
His ability to break people down, honor the system, plays in space, which again kind of identifies certain teams in the NBA.
Right.
That, like, I would fully expect that Golden State has Casey's number. Right. Steph was already like, wait a minute, let him be available. Go ahead.
But do you think another year, just if you look at Martin and Davis from Florida Atlantic, right?
Yeah.
Looking at those dudes, okay. When you see those dudes, okay, they some dudes.
Yep.
I mean, you could tell they've been in the weight room.
Yep.
Okay, they are fully mature. Do you think it's the best advice for Casey to come back and continue to change his body, right?
Well, he lived with Nebraska's pocket Hercules. Like he remembers from Sam Hoiberg. Them two going to the gym.
That's what I'm saying.
Changing that body.
Year,
yeah.
Which has helped him become more effective as a scorer, right?
Yeah.
So whatever lab he went into in the offseason last year, it was here's a playlist for you from the coaches or developmental staff. Here's what or do you accept it? It was accepted and then some. Do you think like, okay, I can another year, of me doing that and then some, along with changing my body for the physicality of the NBA, or even learning and be physically fit enough to play at the pace at the G League, because the G League ain't no defense. Straight up.
Yeah, I want him back for all of the things you just said. All the reasons you just said. But selfishly, I also want him here for Nebraska fans and Nebraska basketball.
Because he's fun. Because we enjoy him.
Yeah,
because he's developed. Because he's grown.
Like, I mean, nobody gets a pop. Not Derek Walker, nobody. Like, not Bryce McGowan's, not Trey, not nobody got the pop that Casey does. And nobody runs the room like Casey does. So, in Big Ten play, like, we loved watching his success because we saw him struggle. Like, we saw him at its worst. And then we went, oh, look at, that's our boy right there. That's our dude right there. So, yeah, I want him back. But if the right place pulls him in, and again, I mean, Indiana, I wouldn't be upset. I wouldn't be upset. Middle of the country, minor league, the G League program. It's got good coaches on the program, great developers.
Great, cold-blooded.
Yeah. I want that for him.
How much weight realistically can he put on? What does that look like? Because we saw the picture of his mom and his dad.
His daddy,
I know.
His daddy, a large human being, individual human being.
How much of that did Casey get? Like, how much do you think he can put on to help? And what's that line that he goes too far and it keeps him from being who he is?
Well, a lot of it's diet and culture, and I mean, it's
I don't think he needs to add a whole bunch of weight. I probably just need to get a little bit more Sam Hoiberg in him.
Yeah, a little stronger.
That's only going to help
to get through picks.
Yeah,
to get through picks and to create space.
Yeah.
He didn't finish through a lot of contacts. He didn't have to because he was crafty.
Oh, he ain't about that body. He's not trying to do that. He'll use it to get the free throw line.
Yeah, he's slick with it.
But
he's crafty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, who's a similar player, and without it being Steph, a similar player in body composition. Is there anybody in that? Like,
well, I mean,
like Kyrie,
probably
Lowry.
Trey Young.
Kyle Lowry's got a butt to him.
Kyle Lowry got junk in the trunk.
Right. Like, I mean,
I would say Trey Young, just because Trey Young coming into the NBA, everybody thought he was physically too small. But I'm gonna tell you what, Deshaun Jackson, when played 12 years in the NFL, and I'd be willing to bet he might not have spent a day over 165.
Yeah.
And had no problem with the physicality, had no problem taking hits and stuff like that. So I think, there's one thing, that he, could come back and improve on, along with the rest of, his game continue to get better. But also, let's not totally focus on that if he takes a step on learning how to play with that.
Yeah.
Play with his body. Because the best scorers know how to play and know how to score. Yeah. If I could give advice to kids out here playing basketball, you guys need to learn how to be a scorer that can shoot. Don't just be a shooter, because then you're easily guardable. Whereas that's where you saw Casey really, really struggle in his first year. He was primarily only a shooter. That's why he struggled to get his shot off, because it was easy. He was easy to find. He somehow figured out how to be a scorer, and that's where the consistency came from. And even when he didn't score 16, 18, 19 points, he still had 10, 11, 12, 13 and was very, very effective. So
and didn't take a lot of shots to do it.
Nope. His efficiency rating went up, and so did his plus minus, if there ever is one, for Nebraska, with being 500. So with that being said, we got one more short segment. We're going to give our initial thoughts on the NBA Finals first game. Do we think the Vegas is right? It's going to be a blowout or a sweep or not? DP, Jay Foreman, Austin will be right back.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and Jay on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
Nebraska's favorite vape shop,
Generation V.
providing friendly, personalized service and the largest selection of vaporizers and e-liquid flavors in the state.
Generation V.
Generation V will beat or match any local competitor's price. With a huge selection, great service, and the lowest prices, Generation V is your one-stop shop for all your vaping needs.
Generation V.
With 4 Lincoln locations, visit us on the web at generationv.com. E-cigs contain nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
Aloe is here to give you the FYI. Are your shows buffering? We know why. Are your games lagging? Don't deny. Are your work calls dropping? Here's the FYI. Your old school internet company can't keep up. They give it a try. Their network isn't enough. Don't get trapped in their gimmicks and lies. It's time to fiber your internet with Aloe. Honest, local, and hassle-free is what we stand by. Experience Aloe Internet. Visit aloefiber.com/FYI.
Tailored Life is now open in Bennett. Make the short drive down Highway 2 for tons of items for your home, for both indoors and outdoors. Check out their variety of potted trees, shrubs, vines, perennials, and colorful annuals. Plus, porch pots and landscape lighting to enhance the outside of your home. Don't forget their home goods for indoors, plus convenient drinks and snacks, most which are produced locally. Visit Tailored Life today in Bennett and stay tuned to their Facebook page at Tailored Life 360 for food truck events coming up.
The Butchery by Venue is Lincoln's premier specialty grocers. Take the quality of Venue home with you with our hand-cut steaks, handcrafted burgers, and locally sourced offerings. Browse our wide selection of specialty products designed to enhance your dining experiences with cheeses, spices, sauces, and more. We also have an exclusive collection of liquors, whiskeys, and bourbons at prices you're sure to love. Stop in to the Butchery by Venue today, located in our Venue at Home storefront at 70th and Pioneers, just 2 doors down from Venue Restaurant and Lounge.
Spring is here, and Acres has special financing on all John Deere lawn tractors and zero-turn mowers. Get your yard looking great and use John Deere's wide selection of attachments to landscape your property to perfection. And for a limited time, with a purchase of a new John Deere mower, get up to $200 to apply to the steel power tool of your choice. From trimmers to chainsaws, gas or electric, Acres is your home for steel products and service. Acres, solutions for every field.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Old School with DP and J.
Remember, we still got to factor in the offensive line, the receivers
I'm
we
not
don't know
factoring that.
about.
I'm looking at individual here. Chuba has not done anything to date here.
He's been a starter here.
Oh, and
He's been a starter.
okay,
here.
and the
That's
coach
one more.
Two coaches
that's
got
one-
fired.
He didn't get him fired. Look,
I'm
Chuba
not
ain't the
saying-
reason
yeah,
why.
well, I'm not saying he get fired, but
Yeah.
he didn't do anything. He didn't stop me from bringing in Jeff Sims.
93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Bagels and Joe is the perfect place for breakfast or lunch in May. Try their pesto cream cheese on any breakfast sandwich. And try the Karma Latte, as 10% of proceeds from that drink will go to the Teammates Mentoring Program. 4 locations in Lincoln and 1 in Seward. Bagels and Joe.
America's been around since 1776. That's nothing. America's still just learning how to party. The Irish? The Irish have been doing it for thousands of years. Party the Irish way at McKinney's Irish Pub in the Haymarket. They've got your favorite Irish beers on tap, along with all the locals and domestics. Plus great house cocktails, a huge selection of Irish whiskey, and the best Irish pub food in town. See the full menu and list of specials online at mckinneyspub.com or just head down there. McKinney's Irish Pub at 7th and P in the Haymarket.
Back to Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back. Short segments before the show is ended, about 3 minutes, so maybe a minute each. NBA Finals start tomorrow in Denver. The Miami Heat has decided that they were going to Denver no matter what, win, lose, or draw from Boston. Elements up there with the altitude. Who are you guys picking in Game 1, and why? DP?
I'm embracing chaos.
Imagine that, Austin.
The team that
shocked, I tell you.
Yeah.
Well, the team that played at its highest level in its most recent game, played at its highest level. Miami Heat were never better than they were in Game 7.
From that middle of that second quarter on,
Right.
they was
Game 7, Denver has been chilling. No matter what Denver's been doing for the last 7 days, it is not playing at the top of NBA basketball level. Yeah, they were hot going into it, but coming off the couch, even if you scrimmage every day, you're still not.
So essentially, what you're saying is the Denver Nuggets are the equivalent of the Green Bay Packers, Aaron Rodgers after going 15-1
after bye week,
and then a bye week,
Yep.
and they lose to the Giants, who are 9-7 in like frigid cold, with Tom Coughlin's face looking cherry red.
Yep,
frostbitten off.
The return of Adebayo, I think he becomes that greater version. Hero comes back.
Hero's playing.
Yeah, is he supposed to?
He's targeted. Was it Game 1 or Game 3?
You even want him back though?
Well, I like even as a decoy, I want him out there.
Man, he ain't no decoy, dude. You've been hurt and your wrist hurt, man.
No, I want him to create space. Get on him, put him on the
I'll
wing.
sit right in the lane. Go ahead. Let me see you shoot real quick.
Well, yeah, but look, shoot or shoot. Shoot or shoot.
Foul or foul, because I'm fouling.
You gotta reach me to foul me. Like yeah. I just think in Game 1, I think Nuggets win the series, but I think Heat wins Game 1 just because.
What you think, Austin?
I think the Heat win the first half. I think that's when Denver knocks the rust off. I think the Heat, like DP said, played at that high level. I think they're still gonna be running on that. I think Spoelstra is a good coach. But I do think being at home, 7-game series will catch up with the Heat after a long season since they've been grinding. So yeah, give me the Nuggets in a big second half to pull away and win it.
I got you. I got Denver winning the first game, winning the second game, winning the third game, and winning the fourth game. Sweet.
Woo!
Sweet. I can't see
Djokovic.
Yeah,
Djokovic be killing it. Hey man, Djokovic runs a 40 and forever and be killing fool.
But Bam gave him trouble, man.
Bam did.
Bam gave him trouble. I mean, still be a triple-double, but it was a 19-point triple-double rather than a 30-point triple-double. Bam does some things that he takes away from Joker that nobody else does.
Does Butler guard Murray?
He better.
Is that the best matchup for the Heat?
It better be.
It don't matter. You know who else they got? They got Porter. They got Butler. I mean,
Porter's my X factor. Strick and I talked about that yesterday.
Sweet. If it's a sweep, I'm going to boo the whole series. I'm going to boo the whole series. I don't want that.
The NBA won't let it happen, but it should be a sweep.
Yeah. I don't want that to happen. I need
Pat Riley would not let that plane leave if they.
No, all I need is for Pat Riley to go to midcourt and go ahead and break out a dance, and then it's a series.
In that genie outfit.
That's it. It's a whole series, man. Yeah, that's what
it's going to be interesting. We'll see how this first game goes. I think Miami is obviously
get one
sharper. If Miami is going to win this series, it's got to be Game 1.
Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you what, Miami does pose some problems to Denver that Denver has not faced all playoffs. You're facing a legitimate defensive team with the best coach in the game. And when you don't have easy shots, because all you knew against the Lakers, you knew that Anthony Davis wasn't always invested. So once you know that one of the guys isn't invested, he's going to get in the way of the other two.
Yeah.
So eventually, nature versus nurture. You ain't getting that with the Miami Heat. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens.
Heat will be leading going into the fourth quarter. Can they finish?
That altitude, DP from experience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Brother looked like he ate all them white donuts. My lips were so white, man. I kept drinking water and all that stuff. It was not happening. It jumps on you like no other.
You look like Ashley Larry from Chappelle's Show.
Hey, I did, man. Hey, another great show. 2 hours goes by too quick. Jay Foreman, DP, we are out. Austin as well. We appreciate you, man. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Nebraska's favorite vape shop.
Generation V.
Providing friendly, personalized service and the largest selection of vaporizers and e-liquid flavors in the state.
Generation V.
Generation V will beat or match any local competitor's price. With a huge selection, great service, and the lowest prices, Generation V is your one-stop shop for all your vaping needs.
Generation V.
With 4 Lincoln locations, visit us on the web at generationv.com. E-cigs contain nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
From the first pitch of a late-night Little League game to the sweet taste of frozen treats, LES powers all of life's special moments for only $2.88 a day. Learn more at les.com/value.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now they've raised wages again and they're hiring for production operators at $24.11 per hour, which grows to $28.27 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $32.76 per hour with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums.